Almost ready?
Almost. Hi, Harold. How are you, brother? We'll give it another minute, another couple seconds, maybe. Ashton. Very nice. Nice and smooth. Ring size is a little small, but not too bad. So I have a Perdomo 10th anniversary that I smoke. Thank you. And then so I smoke that first, and then I go with the thinner one as my second cigar. All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. It is December the 19th in the year of my Lord, 2024. Welcome to Angie's Angles. And what an Angie's Angles we're going to have this evening. And I'm going to make the case for Pete Alonso to be a New York Met. If you know what I mean. Hey, Tom. Tom dialing it up from Smoke Therapy. 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. Hey, Nick. Thanks for joining. Let's put you up on the big screen. Nick saying, hey, what's going on, everybody? Met with Roki Sasaki tonight and David Stern shopping at the Dollar Tree. Happy holidays to all. Yeah, you know, Nick, we both agree. What are they doing? We're signing the who's who of the bargain basements, right? And we don't know if they're really going to be a bargain. We certainly know they're definitely in the basement. You know, Nick, I don't know what to say about that. Hey, Alton, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you. So as the title says, Pete Alonso, will he be Benedict Arnold? Now, the case could be made that if the Skankies happen to sign Pete, or Pete agrees, better yet, to go to the Skankies, I think he will be much, much, much more vilified than Jacob deGrom when he left the Mets. You know, yes, Harold, that's for sure. But Imanaga was a pretty quality pitcher over in Japan, Harold. That's for sure. So, you know, I give the Cubs credit for that signing 100%. Just like we got Senga with the ghost pitch for the Mets, and safe to say that Imanaga and Senga outperformed Yamamoto out in Dodgerland, and for less money, if you know what I mean. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining. I appreciate you, buddy. Yes, Kevin, right. That's the point I'm making tonight, right? So if Pete claims that he's Met, true and blue and orange, yada, 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 want to be a Met for life. But if he happens to go to the other side of the city and signs with the Skankies, I have to concur with you, Kevin. He's DED, dead, with a capital 15 exclamation point. Now I'm going to throw out some numbers to my crew here, to my family. Mark Brooks, my brother from another. Hey, Eric, how are you? Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Right, Mark? You want to start your career and end your career, but unfortunately, today's day and age and the economics, that's becoming less and less viable. And Eric, yes, Eric Schuster wants us to say sign Trevor Bauer, and I am on the Trevor Bauer bandwagon, but it appears that Trevor Bauer is a victim of collusion. We're going to use the C word. He's a victim of collusion. He's a victim of being railroaded, being found guilty before proven innocent. There's no reason why any team wouldn't sign Trevor Bauer. He signs for the league minimum, and you're catching lightning in a bottle. Yes, Harold, we all know how you feel about Trevor Bauer. I understand where you come from, but in America, you're totally innocent until proven guilty, and he wasn't proven guilty of anything except for, i.e., bad decision-making and perhaps shady sexual preferences. But the last time I looked, isn't all of Hollywood the same way, Harold? And I'm sure there's many movies that you've watched that you could say, wow, that guy was a bum. Case in point, Kevin Spacey, House of Cards, my all-time top 3 shows ever. But Kevin Spacey, shady character. So enough said. Yo, let's go one more. How about all these musicians? Let's take Gene Simmons for argument's sake. Slept with how many? Take oh my goodness, somebody help me. The famous basketball player, the Knick guy who slept with over 1,000 women. You know, not necessarily a good role model, but he wasn't guilty of anything but being promiscuous, if you will. Oh, Kevin, it wasn't Kareem. It wasn't Kareem. Kareem's a good man. It was, oh my God. He was on the Knicks. Somebody help me out that's a basketball fan. Willis Reed. No, it wasn't Willis Reed. The other guy. I forget his name. Anyway, I appreciate the newbies here. Thank you so much for joining Angie's Angles. 8:30 every Thursday religiously. I'll be April 1st will be 4 years podcasting. I've missed 2. It wasn't Iman Shum. No, back in the 60s, early 70s, maybe even this in the 70s. Big guy. I think he was a center. Gosh, I wish I remembered his name. It wasn't Frazier. No. It wasn't Frazier. Willis Reed. No, it wasn't Willis Reed, but something similar like that. Yeah, way before my time too, Eric. So I'm going to throw you out some numbers. I don't think, Mark, I don't. Yes, Will Chamberlain. John, thank you, John Corrigan. I appreciate you signing on, John. It wasn't Dr. Jacob. It was Will Chamberlain. That's right. Will Chamberlain slept over with 1,000 women. He bragged about it, wrote a book about it, etc., etc. Does that make him a bad guy? Does that make him bad clubhouse presence? I really don't have that answer for you. But my point making is what we choose to do in life. And we all have kinks, I bet. We all do. Some of us smoke marijuana. I don't. Some of us partake in deviant behavior. I don't know what to tell you about that. It doesn't make you a bad citizen. I firmly believe whatever you do behind your own closed door, that's on you. You know, get your jollies. It don't matter to me. My point is Trevor Bauer was guilty of 0, except for maybe bad decision making. So let's move on from that. I'm going to throw you out some power numbers. Now, if you're an average guy, if you're an OPS guy, my argument's going to fall on deaf ears. But if we're strictly looking at power production, I'm going to throw you some numbers out. And let's not forget, 2022, right? Soto had a very down year. Soto's been in the league 7 years, Alonso 6. In 2022, between two teams, Juan Soto batted .249, 24 home runs, 68 RBIs. 249, 24 home runs, 68 RBIs, yet he still managed to secure a $765 million contract. This is a 162 game average comparing Alonso, Soto, Bryce Harper, who signed a $330 million contract. Pete Alonso's 162 game average, 43 home runs, 112 RBIs, 94 runs scored at .249 average. Juan Soto, 35 home runs, 102 RBIs, 113 runs scored, and that was thankfully because of the skanky year last year, and a .285 average. Bryce Harper, 13 years in the league, 13. His 162 average, 33 home runs, 96 home runs, 106 runs scored, .281 average. Strictly on the power production numbers, Pete Alonso's head and shoulders. All right, I might be going on a branch and saying head and shoulders, but he dominates Bryce Harper, $330 million, and Juan Soto, $765 million. And Pete can't even land a 6-year 180 at $30 million a year. It's ridiculous what's happening to Pete Alonso. And let me bring up another point. Mike Marciano, if you ever listen, I firmly believe, and Mike did a good analysis today on Facebook, Pete's contact rate, his chase rate, his swing and miss rate, all were normal within his career numbers. Now, I personally feel that Pete Alonso's a geek. He's an odd duck. You wouldn't want to interview the guy because you're getting nothing out of him other than I put in my hours, I put in my training. You guys don't see that. I try to hit the ball. You know, Pete, you got to give us a little bit more than that. I'll give you that much. But what I think happened with Pete, he's very cerebral. He's very, very concerned about being well-liked by the fans, for producing for the fans, and he allowed it to get into his head. So every at-bat, he tried to hit the home run rather than let the home run come to him. And even in a down year, Pete hit 34, 88 RBIs. In a down year. I'll take that every day in a down year, 34, 88. And now don't forget, the Mets were like the Bad News Bears up until what? June 1st. They couldn't get out of their own way. Kevin Elliott, how you doing, brother? Have you gotten your phone yet, my friend? Pete Alonso is very vital to the success of Juan Soto and the New York Mets. And here's my lineup. Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Vientos. And then you go from there. I would probably even put Alvarez behind Vientos. 1 through 6, that's a dynamic lineup. Dynamic. Right, Olton. I do think we need Pete. And here's my prediction. Pete, 6 years, 180, mutual option for year 7. Put it on the table. Tell him he's got 72 hours to say yay or nay. And let us move on. Now, as Nick Troiano said, we had talks with Sasaki. They like Jeremy Hefner. Team Sasaki loves Jeremy Hefner. Jeremy Hefner, Senga, and Sasaki make a good trio. And I think we need to do that. Hey, John, thanks for joining. I appreciate you, John. What's going on, buddy? Yes, we need to sign Pete Alonso. And I'll make a prediction. You will see Pete get back to 50, 100 in a second. In a nanosecond. Pete Alonso has never had the protection that Juan Soto is going to give him. He's never had it. Pete will do 50, 100 without even batting an eye in that lineup. Undenied. Put in the books. It's a fact. Right, John? I know. We're on the same page. You know, Mark, it wasn't that he had to learn how to stay away from that pitch. He had nobody protecting him. We didn't bring up Vientos until May, right? May, whatever it was. Kevin, you could give us those numbers. So, and then we were still dog shit until about June 1st when we started clicking. And let's not forget, when push came to shove, it was Pete Alonso that continued our playoff path, i.e. out of Milwaukee, off of the new Yankees closer, Devin Williams. Or Devon Williams, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Who everybody brags about being the best reliever the last 3 or 4 years in baseball. 2-point-something ERA. And what did Pete do with that 2-point-something ERA? He took a Oppo. Yes, John, the Mets have to show Pete the love. Pete is a $30 million a year player without a shadow of the doubt. 100%. Now, the title of my podcast is MLB Breaking News. Will Pete Alonso become Benedict Arnold? And as we all know who Benedict Arnold was, if Pete leaves the Mets to go to the Skank, Pete could go anywhere else, and he'll be appreciated for what he gave us. The rookie home run record, the dedication, the always over 152 games played with the New York Mets. Injury bug didn't hit Pete. Durable, and he produced. This podcast is dedicated to Pete, to get him to sign. And I'm going to make another statement. And I just made a dinner wager with Larry Levy. Kyle Tucker with the Chicago Cubs will outperform Juan Soto. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here, folks. All right? I can't believe we're at the 850 mark. Where did it go? I appreciate the newbies tonight. I am quadruple interstatal. I appreciate everybody that takes time out. John Capone, John Corrigan, newbies. Well, John, you've been here a couple times, but still a newbie to Angie's Angles family. We appreciate you greatly. And if we take a minute, I just want to give a shout out to my good friend Mike. here at Smoke Therapy. Come on in, Mike. Say a brief hello.
Oh, I don't know if I get in there.
Yep.
Hey, what's happening? How's everybody doing?
Mike is gracious enough to always give me the back room at Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue. Runs an amazing cigar shop. Always welcoming. He gives me the back room. I do my thing every Thursday night when I can. Kyle, Kevin, you make me laugh. You're the one that turned me on to Kyle Tucker, and now you're throwing him under the bus. Juan Soto is a huge offensive player, no doubt. But Juan Soto's 2022 season shows me that he's not God either. Okay? And if everybody's going to jump on the bash and Pete Alonso for the off year he had in his walk year and give Soto a pass on 2022, you're all out of your mind. You're all out of your mind. It's absolutely insane. I want to hear your comments, your commentary, your thoughts. 6 years, 180. Make the 7th year a mutual option. And if Pete don't sign, then we did our best. Now you're going to say, well, you might be overpaying for Pete Alonso, but we overpaid for Juan Soto, for God's sakes. That's right, John. I agree 100%. So we gotta either pull the trigger on signing Pete or convince ourselves that he's gone and he gave us 6 years and wish him well as long as he don't go to the Skankies. And that's the main point of my podcast. Pete Alonso, for his own good and his own legacy, if you will, cannot go to the Skankies. He can't do it. He cannot do it. And John, I agree, John. Oh, I thought you were leaving, Kev. I thought you were going away. Apparently not. All right, guys, we're at the 8:53 mark, and we always do the prayer circle with Angie's Angles family, and it goes like this. And I'm glad to report that we got some people coming off the prayer circle, so that's positive. I'm happy to hear that. Harold, we're praying for Dawn Squared, both your wife and your co-worker. Well, your ex-co-worker, because now, sir, young man, you're officially retired. Scott Tobias, we're praying for your wife and your mom. Linda Stein, we're praying for your dad and yourself, young lady. Mark Brooks, welcoming another grandchild into the Brooks family hierarchy. Congratulations. We're praying for everybody over there to be healthy. We're praying for your dad and yourself, Mark. Kevin Elliott, we're praying for your health challenges and that Walmart delivers your phone to you rather quickly. Krause family, we're praying for Aubrey as her cancer remains in remission. Clark, we're praying, as we always do, for your brother-in-law Brad and your sister Tricia. And it's my understanding, Clark, that your hips are healing just fine. Deb and Lee down in Maryland, we're praying for Lee. Marianne Bello out in Las Vegas, we're praying for your mom. Big John, Cigar Lounge. Cousin Richie, Phil's Nona, and your friend Irene. Larry Levy, thanks for the call today. Good catching up with you, my friend. We're praying for your wife, Frida, who, by the way, has been told that her cancer is now in remission. God bless. Good news. We're praying for my Aunt Pat that's on home hospice down in Florida. I spoke to Mr. McGowan, everybody, just this week. He's got a long road ahead of him, but he sounds strong. He sounds committed. He's waiting to go to rehab. They're trying to find the right facility. Please keep in prayers the Horn family as they lost their 15-year-old son, Nolan, to an aggressive form of brain cancer just about a month ago. We pray for my sister Patty Ann and my nieces Natalie, Carolina, and Ava. as they face yet another Christmas and holiday season without their dad, my brother-in-law Chuck, who passed away in 2023 suddenly, unexpectedly, and tragically. As you all know, if you have anybody that is in need of prayer, PM me. It could be anonymous. If you want to give details, that's fine. We'll include them here on the podcast. Pete Alonso needs to be a Met. Absolutely. He started his career with the Mets. He needs to finish it. It's only going to be another 6 to 7 years. I firmly believe that lineup of Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, and Alvarez is going to give us a 100-game winning season. Absolutely. Everybody, next week I'm most likely going to be remote. My family's planning a trip into Manhattan to see the tree. So I might be broadcasting from in front of the Rockefeller Center tree. But we'll be here next week live, as always. Both Johns, Capone, and Corrigan, I don't know if you're in the tri-state area, but January 9th, Angie's Angles, wings, bourbon, and cigars. PM me for details if you have any inkling. It's going to be here on Ronkonkoma, Long Island. If you're close by, if you're in the neighborhood, if you make plans, happy to have you attend. Just give me a heads up so I can let the restaurant know. It's been Angie's Angles, as always, coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue. Whatever holiday you celebrate, hug your family. Celebrate. We don't have long on this world or in this world. My son Angelo returned from Greece. We are excited beyond happiness to have him back home. It was great to touch the kid, to give him a hug, tell him how much he was missed and how much he's loved. So Angie, we love you very, very much. Danny, good luck on all your finals. I know they're over, and I hope you get the scores that you wanted. We'll see you next week live from New York City. Good night. God bless. I love you.